George Faltaous, who came from Egypt and started as a pharmacist, was running a nice business, and then something happened which changed his life and the life of a lot of people around him. And George, I'm so happy to see you. I met you, I don't even know how many years ago. You were just a little boy.
13 years ago?
Playing with drugs.
Yeah.
and something happened. One of your customers came in, and she was complaining about her skin. I mean, women, we complain all the time about everything. But she was sort of annoyed.
Right.
And so explain what happened.
Well, actually, she had read an article that a certain antioxidant, alpha-lipoic acid, would be great for wrinkles. And she asked me if we had a cream with lipoic acid in the pharmacy. And because I was involved with nutrition for 10 years before that, I knew they didn't make lipoic acid creams, but I offered to make it for her. And she came back the next day, I made a cream for her.
Right, put it in a little thing.
Right, made it in a white pharmacy jar, no label, no name, no nothing. Just as a service to the customer, really. I didn't have a company or a brand or anything. And then she passed by the next day, picked it up. And then 3 days later, her cousin came in, asked for the same cream that Phyllis had. And then a few days later, her friend came in. It turns out Phyllis was the yoga instructor at the local gym. Oh. And she told all the ladies how great George's cream was. And that was the brand. People start coming back for it.
Right, George's cream, because he wasn't in that business.
No.
You were a pharmacist doing local business.
Right, and I never really dreamt of, making skincare. It's just people kept coming back for it. And her doctor, the dermatologist, called me and said, I don't really believe in wrinkle creams. I said, neither do I. We're pharmacists. We don't believe in wrinkle creams. And don't forget, this was way before. This was in 1999, even before Botox became a big thing. I mean, there was no wrinkle creams. There was moisturizers.
Injectables.
Right. It was just moisturizers and cold creams and such. And he's like, but whatever is in this thing, it works, So.
Now, I didn't really know you then, but someone was at a party in Greenwich, at the Greenwich Country Club, and a guy came to the station and he said to me, I saw the weirdest thing. This guy put a cream that he invented on someone's face, and like an hour later, I happened to notice the woman, and a lot of the lines and wrinkles were gone. He said, I know it sounds crazy.
Yeah,
and
that's
it turned
Jeunesse.
out to be you, Jeunesse. It was George. Your life changed.
Right, but this product came 3-4 years after, I started.
Right, you started with the
regular. Because I just noticed people are coming back to ask for the cream again and again and again. I'm like, you know what? I don't know why these ladies are coming back and dropping $100 on the table to get a jar of cream. They must be crazy. But eventually I learned that there's, what I was making in that pharmacy compounding department is a very clean, antioxidant-based wrinkle cream. And as I started studying this subject, going to conferences and reading the literature on it, I realized how much junk is in the department store brands. And that's what we kept reading. I think that's what separates Chamonix from a lot of the product out there, is that I still formulate all my products. And it's more like the same ethic. It's a work of love when we formulate a product.
Right, and I love the story because a lot of people have dreams, and we're sort of afraid nothing happens. In this case, this woman Phyllis should be on your payroll for the rest of her life.
Yeah.
But it is an extraordinary story because you weren't into packaging, you weren't into design, you didn't have a PR operation, you had a little pharmacy.
Word of mouth. People start coming back, and doctors got wind of it and started talking about the product on the air, actually on the radio, which I didn't know anything about. And, I'm blessed. It worked out. But we still have, I still am friends with the people in Colonia, New Jersey, where the pharmacy where I go back there.
Right, where you started.
Yeah.
So now, from a lady who didn't like her skin cream you are selling 2 zillion jars, tubes of all this stuff, and you're selling so many products, it's dizzying that you're making.
But they're all the same.
Right.
They're all on the same platform. We're antioxidant-based, anti-aging company. We make stuff. All our skincare doesn't have any, pharmaceutical preservatives or any of the junk that you find. And I think that's what the brand is. People come back for it because it works better than anything they tried because it's that clean, I think.
So in your business, you have to constantly be like one step ahead.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, you didn't think like that way in the beginning, but now, like, what do people care about the most? They care about their skin. They care about their hair. Yeah. Right? Guys care about being virile into their hundreds.
Sure. Well, you do have to. If you're a small company like us compared to these guys that are like,
the giants,
billion-dollar venture capital backing and all that stuff, you have to be nimble. You have to be ahead of the curve, and then by the time everybody catches up, you're out with the new product.
Right, which is fantastic. George Faltaous, and many of you have tried George's products, and the lucky people who are here are getting all kinds of goodies.
Well, I want to thank you for having us here. Yeah,
thrilled.
It's the least thing we can do
I'm happy that you're here, and we'll talk a little more as we go on. We've got a great show for you today.